Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports is brought to you by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Visit your nearest Chevy dealer to test drive our award-winning products.
Hello again and welcome in to Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports. I'm your host, Matt Musil. The state championship games are set for the high school football season. After nearly 4.5 months of practices and games, the journey is almost over and teams can taste that ultimate goal. One team that's used to playing 16 games per season is North Shore. This afternoon in Pflugerville, North Shore would take on Austin Westlake to see if the Mustangs would be playing for a state title once again. And, as it turns out, it's our DQ Game of the Week. These two heavyweights have become very familiar with one another over the last few years, and this one lived up to the hype early. Westlake would get on the board first as sophomore quarterback Reese Weiss calls his own number and powers his way in from 9 yards out to give the Chaparrals a 7-0 lead. North Shore would respond immediately, eating up half of the second quarter with an impressive 75-yard drive, capped off with their version of the tush push, Caleb Bailey getting in from a yard out to tie the game at 7 apiece. On the next possession, the Mustangs get some momentum through the air as Bailey hits Dion DeBlanc in the flat, and he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. That would set up this touchdown run by DeAndre Hardiman as he goes untouched from 9 yards out to give the Mustangs their first lead of the game, 14-7. The Mustangs would add a short field goal midway through the third quarter and then get a late interception as they punch their ticket to the 6A Division I championship. They win it 23-14. Up the road in Waco, Summer Creek was taking on Cibolo Steel in the 6A Division II semifinals. Summer Creek looking to punch its ticket to state for the first time in school history, and the Bulldogs strike first. Senior running back Lloyd Avant takes a well-designed screen pass from Blake Thomas as he goes in untouched to stake the Bulldogs to a quick 7-0 lead. After the defense holds, Summer Creek caps an impressive 95-yard drive with Thomas on 3rd and long, extending the play, buying time before firing to strike Caleb Welch. He's in for the score to make it 14-0 Summer Creek. Midway through the second quarter, Avant is at it again, sweeping around the left end, tight-roping his way down the sidelines, and he's in for the touchdown to make it 21-0. And Summer Creek goes on to win this one and will play in its first state title game next Saturday. A couple of undefeated teams going at it as Belleville took on Wimberley up in Pflugerville. Wimberley trying to get the ground game started, but watch DJ Sanders rip the ball away and take off the other direction for the strip and score. Belleville up 7-0, not even a minute into the contest. Late in the second, D.D. Murray takes the pitch, and he comes to the near sideline, and he's gone for 28 yards and the score. Belleville up 21-14 at intermission. In the second half, the Brahmas in that slot T, and when the defense gets tricked, Belleville fans get treated, and that's what happened when Corian Hood goes untouched for 69 yards and the score. It's 28-14 Belleville. In the fourth quarter, the Brahmas up 28-21, and Murray takes it in for the short 2-yard score. Belleville pushes the lead back to 2 scores. Now moving to late in the game, 19 seconds left in regulation. Wimberley at the 1, down 8 points. Cody Stover bullies his way in from there on the Texas trail, 35-33. They have to go for 2. Stover again, but he is denied at the goal line. Belleville is heading to state for the first time since 1977 with the 35-33 win. And the Brahmas will face Gilmer on Friday afternoon.
This is amazing. I never really expected this team to get this far, but I love every single one of these guys. We had such a great year, and I can't wait to do even more.
The Ganado band was in the Christmas spirit, but it was the football team that hoped to gift their fans a state title appearance. The Indians took on Timpson in a Class 2A semifinal and jumped on them right away. Bryce Ullman looks off the safety and then goes 37 yards to Austin Pena, and Ganado leads 7-0. After Timpson would tie it at 7 apiece, check out Lando Hicks on the ensuing kickoff. He fields it at his own 4-yard line and takes off up the middle of the field. He almost has his shirt ripped off of him, but he keeps going. And that's a 73-yard return to the 20-yard line, setting up the Indians in great field position. Moments later, Ganado runs the tush-push from the 1, and Ullman reaches pay dirt. The Indians up 14-7. In the second quarter, same score, Ullman to Cade Hayden for a 5-yard touchdown. Ganado thinking upset with a 21-7 lead. However, Ganado would not score again, and with the game tied at 21-all in the third, Class 2A's best player, Timpson's Terry Bussey, would score from the 12 to give the Bears a lead they'd never lose. Ganado's great season ends with a 35-21 loss in the state semifinal. It was an emotional scene before Edna's Class 3A Division I semifinal with Franklin. Edna's cheerleaders left a spot for their teammate, Lizbeth Medina, who was tragically killed earlier in the week. Each cheerleader also wore a purple bandana around their leg in remembrance of their dear friend. With heavy hearts, the Cowboys attempted to upset Franklin, but the Lions were just too powerful, especially Devin Hadrago. In the first quarter, R.J. Fulton would find Hadrago on the 20-yard touchdown pass to put Franklin up 17-0. Hadrago found himself open the entire first half. Here he reels in a 52-yard touchdown pass for one of his 4 scores before halftime, and Franklin would end Edna's terrific season with a 52-14 win. All right, let's take a quick time out now to recognize one of Houston's best athletes. He made plays in the passing game and on special teams. This week's Parker University MVP is Tristan Brown from Houston Lamar. Lamar's Tristan Brown has been a problem for defenses in District 18-6A. Brown was the district's offensive MVP in 2023 as he put up stellar numbers, 44 catches for 866 yards and 10 touchdowns as a wide receiver. Brown also scored 2 more touchdowns in the return game. For his Texan career, Tristan caught 92 balls and found the end zone over 30 times. With speed and moves for days, Brown is dangerous in all facets of the game. Tristan has committed to Vanderbilt. And because of his accomplishments on the field, we are happy to present a bobblehead to Tristan, who joined us earlier this week with his teammates. Hey, what do you guys have to say for your teammate? Hey, I love that support, Tristan. Okay, you were one of the fastest playmakers in the state this past season. Tell us how you saw your speed frustrating opponents throughout the year.
I really just use my speed, just get away, and just use it as getaway speed. And can't nobody catch me. I'm one of the fastest on the field.
All right, now, not only were you dangerous as a wide receiver, but you returned 5 kickoffs for touchdowns during your Lamar career. What's the key to breaking a long kickoff return?
It's really easy. It really just started off with my blocks. They really make my job easier, so it just make it look like I'm just doing it all the way by myself, but it really started with them, and then I can do everything else by myself.
Lamar was one of only 12 6A teams in the entire state of Texas to go undefeated during the regular season. For those who don't understand, how close was your bond with that senior Texan squad?
The bond is really good. You see how everybody over here, everybody like family. Everybody treat each other like brothers outside of football, and it's really just a family outside of that.
All right, you're heading to the SEC, up to Vanderbilt in Nashville for your college ball. Why was that the school for you?
For number one, Vandy's in the SEC. I always wanted to play at the top of the top and play with the big odds. And I really got a chance to do that, and I feel like that's a good program. And I really just like go with the plan that Coach Lee has for the program.
All right, Tristan, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck in your future. Hey, with the football season winding down, it's time to turn our attention to the basketball season. We had some good matchups this week, so let's take a look at the action. 16th-ranked C.E. King was taking on Galveston Ball Friday night. It was the Tours who got the game started off right. Malcolm Simpson with the steal. And look out below, now that's a slam dunk right there. The Panthers would take control in the first. That's David Clayton on the break for the layup, 21-7 C.E. King after a quarter. In the second quarter, 6'9" Logan Alexander shows why he's an easy guy to throw an alley-oop to. Panthers up 29-17. Then on defense, Alexander swats the shot, which would earn the Panthers the title belt. And on the other end, Clayton passes to Christian Thomas for 2 of his 16 points. The Tours would get another highlight-worthy dunk when London Dion goes up and over his defender for the slam dunk. But this was all Panthers. Clayton goes bombs away from the corner, and C.E. King wins 69-48. Defending Class 4A state runner-up, Booker T. Washington visited Langham Creek Tuesday night, and the Golden Eagles' Chris McDermott was throwing a block party in the first half. In the first quarter, Langham Creek's Arian Harrison takes it strong to the hoop, but McDermott was stronger as he swats it with both hands. Later, McDermott goes way up to block this shot off the backboard, and look at him run the court. Got to reward the big man for running, so he gets the dish and lays it in. 14-7, Eagles. Langham Creek's Jai Harrison sets up behind the arc, pump fakes, which frees him up to drain the three as the Lobos trail by 4 after 1. In the second quarter, McDermott, running the break, dishes to Robert Jones with the sweet up and under move for 2. Booker T up 64-45 at intermission. In the second half, Harrison passes to the corner, where Riyad Eluiad spots up for the trifecta, and it's good. But the offensive onslaught by Washington just too much on this night. Otis Carter lobs it up to McDermott for the alley-oop dunk, 23 points for Chris, and Booker T wins it 81-60.